everyone, I'm healthyhabitswithtrish.com. Today on Let's Eat Healthy, we're going to do something just a bit different. So about once a month on this show, instead of a recipe, we're going to have a small talk on either kitchen basics or nutrition. Today is on nutrition, where we chat about my plant-based journey so that you understand why I created this show. So I'm just wondering, are you thinking about going plant-based? Should you go plant-based but don't know how to start? Hang with me for a small chat on how I made a few easy steps for our household in moving towards a more sustainable, healthy lifestyle by incorporating more plants in our diet. Now, I won't see you in the kitchen, but grab a notebook to take notes, and I'll see you back here in just a sec. All right, let's get started. So I want to be able to keep these videos short, mostly so you don't get bored, but I want to be able to give you enough information that by the time you're done watching the video, that you're more knowledgeable in whatever topic that we're talking about. Now, today is just an intro, but for future nutrition talks, we will jump right into things like protein, breads, oils, dairy to dairy-free, and sugar, just to name a few, but pretty much anything nutrition. So if you have a topic that you'd like to learn more about, please leave me a comment below. Now, I'm going to be jumping pretty rapidly through my timeline. Remember, this isn't my life story. This is just my plant-based journey. However, if you'd like to read my story, I've left the link in the description below, where you can not only read my story, but 14 other collaborating authors in WOW's Women of Worth Empowered Entrepreneurs. So on to my journey. For those of you that don't know me, I was raised on a ranch until my mid-20s. Eating meat was our lifestyle. In fact, when I think back, I never knew anything or even heard anything about a plant-based diet. I'm sure it was out there, it just wasn't in my world. In 1988, I stopped eating red meat due to mostly health reasons, but something gross kind of happened to give me that extra nudge to stop eating meat. In 2013, I was involved in a very serious car accident. This not only changed my life, but it changed my eating habits as well. For 2 years, I was in a deep depression. I sat on the couch feeling sorry for myself, and all I could do was eat. Not just eating, but I was eating sweets. A couple years later, I finally admitted that I was a sugar addict. And I do talks now on how to kick sugar cravings. In 2015, I had enough. Scott and I took a 28-day Whole Foods body reset, like a cleanse, and this completely changed our eating habits. After that, I delved into learning all I could about whole foods, plant-based, and nutrition. In 2016, I became a certified holistic health and wellness coach. This is where I help you change your habits to change your life on a holistic level. In 2018, after further learning, I became a certified diabetes specialist. This is where I help you manage your diabetes, or even help you change your habits or lifestyle to possibly even reverse diabetes too. Since becoming a health coach in 2016, our household started eating a Flexitarian diet. Now keep in mind, anytime I say diet, I'm not talking about the deprivation or roller coaster diet that so many people go on many times a year. And believe me, I've had my share of diets throughout the years as well. But when I say diet, I'm talking about the way that you eat. A flexitarian diet is where you focus mostly on whole foods, plant-based, and add in animal protein a few times a week. In our household, we added in animal protein about 2 to 4 times a week. Remember, gradual changes, no matter how small, are a great way to start, and you'll notice how you feel different. In March of 2020, I decided to make another big step in our diet. I just wasn't feeling 100%. I didn't feel great in my skin. I was healthy, but I just didn't feel how I wanted to. Now, some of those feelings are due to growing older, but I wanted to make another step for not just my health, but for Scott's health. So what does it mean to incorporate a more plant-based diet? Now, even though I made big changes, and I'm not going to be able to share them all with you today, but I will share some of the important ones. Remember, gradual changes, no matter how small, is what's important. So one of the first things that I did was I started making my own plant-based and oil-free dressings. Keep in mind, if you're buying dressings from the store and you think they're healthy because they're vegan or gluten-free, please read your labels. There's a lot of bad ingredients in dressings. Second, I stopped buying cheese. Now, that's a hard one for me because our household is major cheese lovers. So I've stopped buying as best as I can. And I started making cashew cheese and experimenting with other recipes of healthy, tasty cheese-like recipes. Now, I have recently found a new brand from the store that I liked. It's called VioLife. The ingredients are pretty good, and it actually tastes and melts pretty well as well. I've left it in the description if you'd like to try it. The other thing we do is eat a lot of nutritional yeast. Guys, nutritional yeast is so good and good for you. It's an excellent source of the B vitamins and minerals and high quality protein. So not only does it taste good and kind of gives that cheese taste, it's really great for you. Not only have we changed the type of oils that we use in our household, we've also lowered our consumption of oils. Now, I'm not cooking oil-free, not there yet, but I'm pretty happy with the lowering of our consumption of oil. So when it comes to cooking healthy, it all starts with what you're cooking with. So if you're cooking with refined, highly processed oils like vegetable oil, canola oils, peanut oil, just to name a few, then you're not cooking as healthy as you could be. One of the oils to avoid altogether is hydrogenated oils. This is your Crisco and margarines. This is one of the most dangerous oils on the market. In fact, in Europe, in 2 of their countries, they've actually banned hydrogenated oils. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about hydrogenated oils. You're welcome to do your research or drop me a message and I'll do my best to answer it. When I go out to eat, I always ask, depending on the meal, what type of oil are you using? If I'm going to have a dressing, I ask, do you make it in-house? And if so, what kind of oils are you using? You have a right to ask what kind of food you're putting in your body, whether it's what are they using or where it comes from. After all, this is for your best health. So next, let's move on to the top 3 oils that I use if I'm baking or cooking. So one of the first oils that we're going to talk about is olive oil. Most nutrition and cooking experts agree that olive oil is one of the most versatile and healthy oils to cook with. You want to use an oil that's not refined, an industrial nut and seed oil, which has been highly processed, which removes all of the nutrients and can create harmful free radicals. So if you're going to use an oil and you're cooking healthy, wouldn't you want to use the healthiest oil possible? Now, in olive oils, you want to buy an extra virgin olive oil, cold pressed. They do this by grinding the olives into a paste and then pressing the olives to extract the oil. There's no heat involved, hence cold pressed. Now, organic extra virgin olive oil can be on the pricey side, but again, a much healthier oil to cook with. The other thing you need to know about olive oils is they have a low smoking point, which means they're great for low and medium cooking. But if you're gonna do high cooking, like stir fries, you wanna look into another oil option, which is coming up next. All right, our second oil is coconut oil. So depending on who you ask, coconut oil should either be avoided altogether or embraced, but in moderation. And this is due to its high saturated fat content. Although plant-based, unlike other plant-based oils, it is primarily a saturated fat. Now, I keep a coconut oil that's organic and cold pressed as a staple in my house, but I use it very sparingly and just in some recipes that might call for coconut oil when I'm baking. The next thing I do is I try to lower the amount that it might call for in the recipe to kind of just lower that saturated fat content a little bit more. Now, the coconut oil that I use is Nutiva organic cold pressed, and I put it in the description below if you'd like to try it. All right, my third oil, drum roll, is avocado oil. Now, the avocado is an unusual but healthy fat fruit. It's not as well known as olive oil, but it's just as delicious. So avocado oil is pressed from the pulp of an avocado, and almost 70% of the oil consists of heart-healthy oleic acid, which is a monosaturated omega-9 fatty acid, which is also found in olive oil. Now, there's a lot of health benefits to avocado oil, and I'm not going to be able to go through all of them today, but check out healthline.com, a site that I trust, for 9 evidence-based health benefits. Now, avocado oil can be a bit pricey, and even sometimes pricier than olive oil. But if you've lowered your consumption of oil like I have, the price doesn't bother me as much as knowing the health benefits. Now, you can use avocado oil for dips and dressings, as in cold, but it also has a high smoke point, which means it's great for higher heat cooking, like those stir fries. Now, those are my top 3 oils. Just do your research and see which one you like. These are the ones that I've researched throughout the years and found the healthiest options. The other oil that I didn't mention is MCT oil. I do have that in my house, but it's actually higher than all the oils that I listed, and I use it very, very sparingly. Remember, as I talk about all the changes that I made on my plant-based journey, and I'm only talking about a few of them today, they all fall under my good, better, and best motto. And all that means is when you're in the store, take a product, pick 3 brands, and by reading the label and ingredients, which one is good, which one is better, and which one is best. Now, the next thing I did was I stopped buying milk, even though I wasn't an avid milk drinker. But after many years of research trying to find a better milk substitute, I finally found an almond milk that our whole household absolutely loves. Now, I use this almond milk to make soups and sauces, pretty much anything that calls for milk or cream. And if you want to know what brand I love, I've left it in the description below. Now, as a nutritarian, I'm always looking for ways to educate on eating healthy and cooking healthy. So we're going to briefly chat about our plates. So I want you to think about your lunch or dinner plate. Typically in North America, our dinner plates have animal protein on half, a quarter is about veggies, and the other quarter is typically a starch like potatoes and or rice. Now, if you want to eat a more plant-based diet, all you've got to do is change your plate. So instead of the animal protein taking up half of your plate, make that half your veggies and mix it up. Your veggies don't have to all be the same. Pick your favorite. The other quarter, you can make your starch. And then if you need or want your animal protein, go ahead, but make it the quarter of the remaining of the plate. Now, there is a rule of thumb to eating animal protein, and that's don't eat more than your fist or the palm of your hand. Now, if you can make that change to your plate, you will not only notice a difference in your weight, if that's what you're looking for, but you'll also notice a difference in the way that you feel. And you will be on your way to eating a plant-based diet and thriving. The last thing I want to talk to you about today, and I've wanted to do it for years, is instead of eating dinner like a king, which is the North American lifestyle, we eat our big meal at lunch, which for us is between 2 and 4. Now, doing this has made a huge difference in how I feel. And we've only been doing it since July 2020. There's an old adage that states, eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. Now, the North American lifestyle has twisted that all around. But just think about eating less at dinner time. Now, every now and then, we'll go out for dinner with friends, and that's okay. This isn't about being perfect or adding a bunch of restrictions. Take care of you. Eat as healthy as you can. Love the way you eat, exercise, and do self-care. There'll be a show on that. I always advise my clients, listen to your body. You are unique, and we all have the innate wisdom to listen to what our bodies are telling us. Stop, focus on you. What is it that your body's trying to tell you when you eat? So today, since making all of these changes, mostly during COVID, Scott is down 25 pounds, which he hasn't been since high school, and I'm down 15. Now, for me, it wasn't about the weight loss. For me, it was about how I was feeling. And the difference has been completely remarkable. It's funny, growing up on a ranch, I don't even miss or crave the animal protein. I love our new plant-based lifestyle. So if you fall off track, that's okay. Don't think of it as a failure. Jump back on and start over again. And just pay attention to what your body is saying when you eat. Remember, change your habits, change your life. Thanks so much for hanging with me. I wanted to give you a glimpse of my plant-based journey and some of the changes that I made, just to show you how easy it is to incorporate more plants. If you have any questions, please drop me a line or leave me a message in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want help with either switching or incorporating more plants into your diet, check out my website below. I have a beginner's plant-based program, or I can even do a COVID-safe or virtual fridge pantry makeover. Have a healthy day and see you in the kitchen.